The enthralling romances behind the scenes were the only thing that could rival the glamour of the silver screen during Hollywood's heyday. These romances, which ranged from passionate liaisons to long-term unions, frequently reflected the drama and glitz of the movies. Come along as we explore the complex romantic relationships of well-known actresses and their spouses, uncovering tales that enthralled audiences worldwide and permanently altered the course of Hollywood history. Katharine Hepburn. Unlike many of her peers, Katharine Hepburn was never a fan of the Hollywood marital merry-go-round. She had one marriage to Ludlow Ogden Smith, but they divorced in 1934. She was fiercely independent and unabashedly eccentric. She later vowed not to get married to concentrate on her groundbreaking profession. But her life was marked by one great love, Spencer Tracy. Because of Tracy's Catholic faith and devotion to his estranged wife, the two had a 26-year romance but never got married. Hepburn loved and cared for him to the end of his life. She claimed it was too traumatic to see the movies they made together after his death. She won 4 Academy Awards, setting a record, and gave standout performances in timeless films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and The Philadelphia Story. Her career accomplishments were equally impressive. Hepburn changed the definition of being a leading lady in Hollywood with her witty banter, unwavering self-assurance, and defiance of social expectations. Ava Gardner. The pinnacle of Hollywood glitz, Ava Gardner was gorgeous, defiant, and unadulterated. Her romantic life was as dramatic as the movies in which she acted. At the age of 19, she wed Mickey Rooney for the first time in 1942, but they quickly divorced due to his adultery and gambling. Her second marriage to jazz musician Artie Shaw ended just as soon because she was fed up with his domineering behavior. However, her turbulent relationship with Frank Sinatra is what made her famous. Their years together were marked by violent disagreements and lavish cosmetics. In their intense on-again, off-again romance garnered media attention. Sinatra's decision to leave his wife, Nancy, for Gardner caused a stir in Hollywood. Even after their divorce, they maintained a close bond despite the drama. With parts in Mogambo and The Killers, Gardner's career took off, and she was nominated for an Oscar. Although she had many lovers, she subsequently acknowledged that Sinatra was the one who had the most significant emotional impact on her. Elizabeth Taylor. One of Hollywood's most renowned actresses, Elizabeth Taylor was well known for more than just her award-winning roles and stunning violet eyes. Her romantic life was equally as fascinating as her movies. Taylor was the talk of Hollywood due to her 8 marriages to 7 different men. The foundation for a lifetime of intense, frequently tumultuous relationships was laid by her 1950 first marriage to hotel tycoon Conrad Hilton Jr., which terminated in less than a year. After 5 years of marriage, she found stability with British actor Michael Wilding, with whom she had 2 boys. She fell into the arms of her close friend, singer Eddie Fisher, after her third husband, producer Mike Todd, died in a plane crash, causing a scandal that shook Hollywood. But her most famous relationship was with Richard Burton, whom she wed twice. There was unquestionable chemistry, drama, and gems in their flaming romance. Taylor's reputation extends beyond her marriages. She was a trailblazer in AIDS awareness and won 2 Academy Awards. Zsa Zsa Gabor. In addition to being a Hollywood actress, Zsa Zsa Gabor was a living, breathing example of wealth, humor, and scandal. Having gotten married 9 times, she gave Elizabeth Taylor a conservative appearance. Actor George Sanders, hotel tycoon Conrad Hilton, and even self-styled royal Frederick von Anhalt were among her marriages. Although she starred in movies like Moulin Rouge and Lily, Gabor was more well-known for her glitzy image, witty remarks, and socialite lifestyle than for her playing career. She famously remarked, "I am a marvelous housekeeper. Every time I leave a man, I keep his house." Her romantic life was a wild ride filled with lavish marriages, well-publicized splits, and shocking settlements. She demonstrated that she never lost her fire by slapping a police officer in the 1980s. Zsa Zsa knew how to keep making headlines and the diamonds coming. regardless of whether people thought she was too much or liked her. Rita Hayworth. The stunning love goddess of Hollywood, Rita Hayworth had a personal life of heartache despite her career entire of incredible performances. Her 5 marriages frequently reflected the tragic characters she portrayed on television. Her work was greatly influenced by her first husband, Edward Judson, although she sought independence from him because he was extremely dominating. Because Orson Welles was frequently too focused on his work, their marriage was intellectually fascinating but emotionally aloof. After marrying Prince Ali Khan, she became a real-life princess, but their happily ever after ended abruptly. She also had disappointing marriages to producer James Hill and singer Dick Haymes. Hayworth battled personal issues such as alcoholism and the early development of Alzheimer's disease beneath her Hollywood beauty. Her parts in CoverGirl and Gilda are still recognizable despite the heartache. Her well-known statement, "Men fell in love with Gilda but woke up with me," highlighted the heartbreaking discrepancy between her hardships in real life and her on-screen character. Ginger Rogers. In addition to being Fred Astaire's ideal dance partner, Ginger Rogers was a self-reliant dynamo with a career lasting more than 60 years. Lou Ayres, an actor, was her first husband and the most well-known of her 5 marriages. They stayed friends even after their marriage ended in divorce. She then married French actor Jacques Bergerac, but their marriage ended in tragedy. Rogers prioritized her brilliant Hollywood career over romance, never letting it define her. She proved she was more than simply a song and dance star when she won an Academy Award for Kitty Foyle. She cemented her status as one of Hollywood's best actresses of the Golden Age with roles in movies like Top Hat, Swing Time, and Stage Door. Despite her numerous marriages, Rogers never wavered in her belief that finding a partner who could keep up with her pace was the key to true love beyond simple dancing. Joan Collins. Joan Collins is a living legend, renowned for her beauty, humor, and fiery personality. She's more than a Hollywood star. Collins, most known for playing the vicious Alexis Carrington in Dynasty, has been married 5 times. One of her well-known relationships was a marriage to musician Anthony Newley, which ended in divorce despite having 2 children. Her subsequent marriage to Swedish billionaire Peter Holm resulted in a contentious and widely reported divorce dispute. Collins, however, refused to let sadness define her. She was still the most prominent figure in Hollywood, appearing in TV shows and movies and even penning best-selling books. She proves that age is just a number by being as stylish and intelligent as ever at 89. Her current spouse, Percy Gibson, is 31 years her junior, and she jokes that she keeps around for the laughs. Now they're happily married. Georgia Ann Walken. Christopher and Georgia Ann Walken are a Hollywood rare in town where love frequently dwindles more quickly than the newest box office failure. They've been married since 1969, and their marriage has endured. While Christopher went on to win an Oscar for his roles in Catch Me If You Can and The Deer Hunter, Georgia Ann was a famous casting director who worked on popular shows like Entourage and The Sopranos. The pair's real-life romance is surprisingly understated despite Walken's quirky on-screen character. Walken feels that by choosing not to have children, they were able to maintain their relationship and concentrate on their business. Georgia Ann and Christopher have stayed faithful despite the ebb and flow of other Hollywood couples, demonstrating that genuine love in the entertainment business is accurate. Lisa Kudrow. Despite playing the eccentric and erratic Phoebe Buffay on Friends, Lisa Kudrow's real-life romance is surprisingly drama-free. An uncommon accomplishment in Hollywood, she's been married to French advertising executive Michael Stern since 1995. Fate brought them together years later, but their romance started when Stern dated Kudrow's roommate. Kudrow has frequently attributed the couple's success to mutual respect and a solid foundation. They have a son named Julian. Kudrow remained a stable role model despite several of her co-stars' high-profile romances and breakups. She's more than just Phoebe, as evidenced by her work in popular movies like The Comeback and Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion. Kudrow stands out in a notorious field for its short-lived romances, thanks to her contented marriage and successful work. Meryl Streep. In addition to being the most renowned actress in Hollywood, Meryl Streep is also the heroine of one of the most enduring romances in the industry. 6 months after they first met, she married sculptor Don Gummer in 1978, and they've had a strong marriage ever since. Meanwhile, Streep dominated Hollywood with movies like Mamma Mia, The Devil Wears Prada, and Sophie's Choice. Behind the scenes, Gummer was a calm, steady presence. All 4 of the couple's children went on to seek careers in the arts. Streep has frequently discussed the value of keeping her private life private, which could be the key to their enduring romance. Despite her unmatched success, which includes 3 Academy Awards and more nominations than any other actor in history, Streep frequently cites Gummer as her most excellent ally. Hollywood fairy tales can occasionally come true as seen by their uncommon, scandal-free marriage. Rue McClanahan. Despite playing the man-crazy Blanche Devereaux on The Golden Girls, Rue McClanahan had an equally exciting real-life romantic life. She married artists and businessmen who couldn't keep up with her lively nature on 6 occasions. Her sole child was born to her first husband, Tom Bish, although their union was short-lived. She then wed Peter DeMaio, but their marriage ended in a contentious divorce. Despite the ups and downs, McClanahan continued to vocally support women's rights and animal welfare. Despite her turbulent love life, her career took off with television appearances that made her a household figure. Her wit, charisma, and unreserved confidence won her fans both on and off screen. She jokingly remarked, "I've had my fair share of fun and then some," even though she never found true love. Judy Garland. With a voice that could move mountains, a smile that lighted up the screen, and a heart that tortured forever, Judy Garland's life was the epitome of Hollywood tragedy. She struggled to achieve the stability she craved, despite being married 5 times. Director Vincente Minnelli, who had her cherished daughter Liza Minnelli, succeeded her first husband, bandleader David Rose. Despite their divorce, she and Minnelli stayed in touch because they admired Liza's work. Sid Luft, who oversaw her career but also encouraged her addictions, was the subject of her most turbulent marriage. Garland struggled financially and medically by the time she wed her final husband, Mickey Deans. Despite her tragic personal life, she left behind an incredible legacy with movies like A Star is Born and The Wizard of Oz. Even during her most difficult times, Garland's talent showed the world she was a genuine Hollywood great despite her heartache. Gloria Swanson. In addition to being one of the most well-known silent cinema stars, Gloria Swanson was self-reliant. She had 6 husbands during her lifetime, ranging from affluent businessmen and nobles to actors like Herbert K. Somborn. But her marriages, which frequently ended in scandal or heartache, were as spectacular as her movies. Swanson was well known for her talent and beauty. Still, her most infamous relationship was not a marriage but rather a protracted affair with the patriarch of the Kennedy family, Joseph P. Kennedy. Kennedy reportedly supported some of her movies financially, but their relationship ended tragically. Swanson, who is most remembered for her iconic portrayal in Sunset Boulevard, where she boldly stated, "I am big," remained a Hollywood icon despite her turbulent love life. Off-screen, she adopted a luxurious lifestyle, led a health-conscious lifestyle, and even started her own business. Demonstrating that she was more than simply a famous person, she was a formidable force. Hedy Lamarr. In addition to being one of Hollywood's most stunning actresses, Hedy Lamarr was a brilliant inventor who contributed to creating the technology that eventually became contemporary Wi-Fi. Her private life, however, was much less secure. She had 6 marriages, including to oil magnate and actor W. John Loder. Lee Howard, Fritz Mandl, her first husband, was a strong Austrian armaments trader who attempted to dominate her life and career, even prohibiting her from acting. Eventually, Lamarr broke free from his control and fled to Hollywood, where she became famous in movies like Samson Delilah and Algiers. Her marriages frequently ended in disappointment, even though her beauty enthralled viewers. "I've never been lucky in love," she joked. Despite her tumultuous romances, Lamarr established a legacy that went well beyond the movie industry. She was eventually acknowledged for her revolutionary contributions to science in her latter years, demonstrating that she was an inventor and not simply a gorgeous face. Bonnie Backley. There was intrigue, scandal, and tragedy in Bonnie Backley's life. She had at least 9 previous marriages, many of which were motivated by her obsession with celebrity. Her marriage to Baretta star Robert Blake is what made her most famous. Backley was known for going after famous or wealthy men. Before focusing on Blake, she even went after Elvis Presley's family. But their union was everything but idyllic. Her death outside a Los Angeles restaurant on May 4, 2001, became one of Hollywood's most notorious actual crime cases. Although Blake was accused and ultimately found not guilty, public mistrust persisted. Beyond the news, Backley was a lady who dedicated her life to pursuing her Hollywood aspirations, even though they finally brought her to a terrible conclusion. Her tale is still among the most horrifying illustrations of how wealth and fame occasionally have fatal consequences. Jennifer O'Neill. Not in movies but in marriage, Jennifer O'Neill has one of Hollywood's most astounding records. The star of Summer of 42 was married 9 times to 8 different men, including a surgeon, a wealthy businessman, and her high school sweetheart. While some of her marriages resulted in well-publicized divorces, others lasted only a few months. Despite her turbulent romantic life, O'Neill had a prosperous career in cinema and television. She went on to become an author and motivational speaker. Personal hardships, such as a near-fatal shooting accident and a battle with depression, characterized her life outside of Hollywood. Nevertheless, she became a champion for self-empowerment and faith-based recovery after transforming her hardships into strength. Despite the unpredictability of her romantic life, her perseverance showed that she always managed to get back up after failing in love. She continues to symbolize survival in a field notorious for short-lived romances and even shorter marriages. Magda Gabor. The less well-known but no less glamorous sister of Zsa Zsa and Eva Gabor, Magda Gabor enjoyed a life entire of wealth, scandal, and several spouses. She had 6 marriages, including one to an American business magnate and another to a Brazilian ambassador. Magda shared her sister's extravagant lifestyles, including jewelry, high society parties, and the odd scandal. Despite never achieving the same level of recognition as Eva or Zsa Zsa, she remained a mainstay in Hollywood's elite circles, constantly dressed immaculately and surrounded by fans. Like her sisters, she frequently had brief marriages, but it didn't stop her from living a lavish lifestyle. She once remarked Gabor women collected spouses like jewelry instead of divorcing. Even though she never became a movie star, she was a virtuoso of Hollywood's social scene, demonstrating that sometimes being recognized for being glitzy is enough. Arlene Dahl. One of the last real Hollywood bombshells, Arlene Dahl was renowned for her striking appearance, blazing red hair, and timeless attractiveness. She had 6 spouses, including businessman Roosevelt Schaum and actor Lex Barker. Dahl was a successful entrepreneur and a beautiful woman, unlike some of her fellow celebrities. She became well known for her roles in movies like Slightly Scarlet and Journey to the Center of the Earth before turning to entrepreneurship and starting a fashion and beauty company. Despite the highs and lows of her romantic life, she consistently embodied elegance and sophistication. She carried on her Hollywood heritage in subsequent years as the mother of actor Lorenzo Lamas. Dahl demonstrated that reinvention is always achievable, even in the dynamic realm of show business, by leading an elegant and classy existence despite several divorces. Eva Gabor. The youngest and possibly most endearing of the well-known Gabor sisters, Eva Gabor was a woman who understood how to have fun. She's most remembered for her role as Lisa Douglas in Green Acres. She had 5 husbands, all of whom were richer than the last. In contrast to her sister Zsa Zsa, who frequently garnered media attention due to her outspoken nature, Eva was the kind and humorous one, renowned for her charm and wit. None of her marriages lasted, including one to a German osteopath and another to a wealthy plastics entrepreneur. Eva continued to be a popular TV personality and socialite despite the turmoil in her personal life. She had a well-known quarrel with fellow Hungarian actress Ilona Massey and was close to Hollywood celebrities like Frank Sinatra. Eva Gabor showed everyone that life, even with its failed loves, could always be lived in style by always having a smile and a jest on her lips, even though she never found true love. Ingrid Bergman. Not only was Ingrid Bergman a Hollywood celebrity, but she was a lady who followed her standards, even if they caused controversy. Her affair with Italian director Roberto Rossellini rocked the world, but her marriage to Swedish neurosurgeon Peter Lindstrom lasted almost 13 years. Bergman became pregnant while still married due to their romance, which started while filming Stromboli. She married Rossellini and had 3 children, including Isabella Rossellini, who became an actress like her mother. This prompted a public uproar, with some even referring to her as Hollywood's fallen angel. But they had a rocky marriage that ended in divorce. After years of separation, her final marriage to producer Lars Schmidt dissolved. However, it was more solid. Bergman won 3 Academy Awards, remained a renowned actress, and left a legacy beyond scandal despite these scandals in her personal life. Her status as one of Hollywood's greatest icons was further solidified by her ability to overcome personal obstacles. Vivien Leigh. In person, Vivien Leigh exuded the same enthusiasm that she did on television. She's well known for Gone with the Wind. She was married to renowned actor Laurence Olivier and barrister Lee Holman. She had a daughter from her first marriage to Holman, but she fell for Olivier because of her desire to further her profession. They were Hollywood's golden couple because of their passionate and intense relationship. Lee's severe bipolar disorder, which led to mood swings and breakdowns, generated tension in their marriage, even though they co-starred in multiple plays. 1960, Olivier divorced her because he couldn't bear the emotional toll. Leigh won 2 Oscars and was still regarded as one of the best actors of her era despite her difficulties. Despite her untimely death at 53, she left a legacy of remarkable performances. Despite the pain in her personal life, her on-screen genius made her endure. Audrey Hepburn. Despite being the epitome of elegance, Audrey Hepburn's private life was anything but idyllic. She initially married actor Mel Ferrer, and then she married Italian physician Andrea Dotti. Ferrer oversaw much of her career throughout their 14-year marriage, which was sometimes seen as controlling. Even though they collaborated on War and Peace, their relationship gradually soured, and in 1968 they divorced. She and Doty divorced again after their second marriage was marred by adultery on both sides. Though they never married, Hepburn, who yearned for a contented family life, found real love with Dutch actor Robert Wolders in her later years. Despite personal setbacks, Hepburn had a lasting impression as a humanitarian and an actor in beloved films like Breakfast at Tiffany's. She dedicated her last years to UNICEF, demonstrating that genuine beauty stems from compassion rather than Hollywood glitz. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe's romantic life was just as convoluted as her professional life. She was married to playwright Arthur Miller, baseball great Joe DiMaggio, and factory worker James Dougherty 3 times. Hollywood swiftly transformed her life, although her first marriage was an adolescent escape from an insecure foster family. The baseball player couldn't cope with Monroe's growing reputation, and their second marriage was characterized by passion and jealousy. The couple's marriage lasted 9 months, and their arguments became legendary. Arthur Miller, her third husband, appeared to provide intellectual stability, but even that broke down under the strain of her inner demons and the scrutiny of Hollywood. Monroe left behind a legacy of iconic performances before his tragic death at 36. Her marriages are still as intriguing now as her characters on screen, which is characterized by love, heartache, and the desire for enduring happiness that she could never find. Clara Bow. Hollywood's first real sex icon, Clara Bow, was the original It Girl, but beneath her glitzy persona lay a turbulent past. She married cowboy actor Rex Bell after being engaged to director Victor Fleming, who made her famous in The Wizard of Oz. Despite their obvious connection, Bow and Fleming's romance never reached marriage. To avoid celebrity demands, she relocated to Nevada and found stability with Bell instead. Bow had serious mental health issues, including a nervous breakdown, that forced her to leave Hollywood at the age of 28, despite her vibrant on-screen persona. One of the only solid aspects of her life was her marriage to Bell, with whom she had 2 children. Despite her decline in popularity, Bow's reputation as the first Hollywood bad girl and a silent cinema star endures. She cleared the path for other celebrities representing beauty, self-assurance, and a spirit of rebellion. Lauren Bacall. Lauren Bacall's love story was straight out of the movies for the earlier half of her life. She met and fell in love with 25-year-old Hollywood icon Humphrey Bogart when she was just 19. Beginning on the set of To Have and Have Not, their romance became one of Hollywood's most famous love tales. Before Bogart's tragic death from cancer in 1957, they'd been married for more than 10 years and had 2 children together. After experiencing heartbreak and finding it difficult to go on, Bacall eventually wed actor Jason Robards. Due in large part to Robards' battles with alcoholism, this marriage was turbulent in contrast to her previous. Bacall later claimed that Bogart was the only guy she ever loved, and she'd never got married again after their divorce. With a 6-decade career, she remained one of Hollywood's most recognizable actresses despite personal heartbreaks. Her reputation as a genuine movie legend was cemented by her husky voice, witty repartee, and remarkable performances. Claudette Colbert. Compared to her Hollywood counterparts, Claudette Colbert, the Oscar-winning star of It Happened One Night, had a far more private romantic life. She initially married filmmaker Norman Foster, and then she married Dr. Joel Pressman. She and Foster led different lives, so their first marriage was more of a business deal than a love one. Rumors about a long-term connection with a close female friend remained throughout Colbert's life, even though it was never publicly proven. Many conjectured that Colbert enjoyed the company of women. Her second marriage to Pressman, which lasted more than 30 years until his passing in 1968, was far more steady. Colbert chose a calm and respectable life in her final years, avoiding scandals like many other actresses. Her reputation as one of Hollywood's most gifted and fashionable leading ladies endures despite her decision to move away from the limelight. She demonstrated that a genuine Hollywood icon's charm can occasionally be enhanced by mystery. Barbara Stanwyck. One of Hollywood's most admired actresses, Barbara Stanwyck, had both heartache and passion in her personal life. Rumors of drinking and personal problems plagued her first marriage to vaudeville performer Frank Fay. After adopting a son, the couple's relationship soured, and they eventually got divorced. One of the most glitzy marriages in Hollywood history was her second marriage to the hottie Robert Taylor. Although they were frequently viewed as the ideal power couple, conflict existed behind the scenes due to Taylor's rumored extramarital affairs and professional demands. Stanwyck is devastated by her divorce from Taylor in 1951, even though she was genuinely in love with him. Unlike many actresses of her era, she focused entirely on her job and never got married again. Stanwyck, well known for her parts in The Lady Eve and Double Indemnity, was fiercely independent on and off screen. Her reputation as one of Hollywood's best leading ladies was secured by her talent and tenacity. Lana Turner. Beautiful, gifted, and involved in some of Tinseltown's most notorious scandals, Lana Turner was the quintessential Hollywood femme fatale. She was married 8 times, notably to businessman Fred May, jazz great Artie Shaw, and actor Lex Barker. But her weddings weren't the only ones that garnered media attention. When Turner's teenage daughter, Cheryl Crane, fatally stabbed gangster Johnny Stompanato in what was deemed self-defense, their relationship took a tragic turn to the worst. Hollywood was devastated by the scandal, but Turner bounced back stronger and threw her all into a career that included iconic roles in Peyton Place and The Postman Always Rings Twice. Despite her tumultuous personal life, she remained one of the most glamorous and resilient stars in the business. Grace Kelly. When Grace Kelly married Prince Rainier III of Monaco in 1956, she became royalty, fulfilling every girl's fantasy of becoming a Hollywood star. Before her royal life, Kelly had a successful career as a star in Rear Window and To Catch a Thief, where she was praised for her grace and elegance. Their wedding was a worldwide phenomenon, frequently dubbed the wedding of the century. But beyond the idyllic exterior, Monaco was not always a simple place to live. Kelly felt disappointment after being forced to give up performing and struggled to adjust to royal duties. The couple were married until her untimely death in a 1982 vehicle accident. despite rumors of marital problems and Rainier's stringent control over her public life. Despite her short Hollywood career, Kelly is nevertheless regarded as a timeless symbol of grace, beauty, and style. She will always be remembered as a princess and movie star. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon